Section 1 from the book of Genesis. God spoke to Noah, saying, "Go out of the vessel, you, your wife, your sons, and your sons' wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing that is with you of all flesh, including birds, livestock, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, and multiply on the earth." Noah went out with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every animal, every creeping thing, and every bird, whatever moves on the earth, after their families, went out of the vessel. Noah built an altar for everyone, and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. For everyone smelled the pleasant aroma. For everyone said in his heart, "I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, because the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. I will never again strike every living thing as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease." God blessed Noah and his sons, and said to them, "Be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. The fear of you and the dread of you will be on every animal of the earth, and on every bird of the sky. Everything that moves along the ground and all the fish of the sea are delivered into your hand. Every moving thing that lives will be food for you. Like the green plants, I have given everything to you. But flesh with its life, its blood, you shall not eat. I will surely require accounting for your life's blood. At the hand of every animal I will require it. At the hand of man, even at the hand of every man's brother, I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, his blood will be shed by man, for God made man in his own image. Be fruitful, increase, and multiply on the earth. Increase and multiply on her. Section 2 from the book of Joshua. For everyone said to Joshua, "Don't be afraid because of them, for tomorrow at this time I will deliver them up all, slain before Israel. You shall hamstring their horses and burn their chariots with fire." So Joshua came, and all the people of war with him, against them by the waters of Merom suddenly, and fell on them. For everyone delivered them into the hand of Israel, and they struck them, and pursued them to Great Sidon, and to Misrephoth Maim, and to the valley of Mizpah eastward. They struck them until they left them none remaining. Joshua did to them as for everyone told him. He hamstrung their horses, and burned their chariots with fire. Joshua turned back at that time, and took Hazor, and struck its king with the sword, for Hazor used to be the head of all those kingdoms. They struck all the souls who were in it with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them. There was no one left who breathed. He burned Hazor with fire. Joshua captured all the cities of those kings, with their kings, and he struck them with the edge of the sword, and utterly destroyed them, as Moses the servant of Everyone commanded. But as for the cities that stood on their mounds, Israel burned none of them, except Hazor only. Joshua burned that. The children of Israel took all the spoil of these cities, with the livestock, as spoils for themselves. But every man they struck with the edge of the sword, until they had destroyed them. They didn't leave any who breathed. As for everyone commanded Moses, his servant, so Moses commanded Joshua. Joshua did so. He left nothing undone of all that for everyone commanded Moses. So Joshua captured all that land, the hill country, all the south, all the land of Goshen, the lowland, the Arabah, the hill country of Israel, and the lowland of it, from Mount Halak that goes up to Seir, even to Baal Gad in the valley of Lebanon, under Mount Hermon. He took all their kings, struck them, and put them to death. Joshua made war a long time with all those kings. There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel, except the Hivites, the inhabitants of Gibeon. They took all in battle. For it was a forever one, to harden their hearts, to come against Israel in battle, that he might utterly destroy them, that they might have no favour, but that he might destroy them, as forever one commanded Moses. Joshua came at that time and cut off the Anakim from the hill country, from Hebron, from Debir, from Anav, and from all the hill country of Judah, and from all the hill country of Israel. Joshua utterly destroyed them with their cities. There were none of the Anakim left in the land of the children of Israel. Only in Gaza, in Gath, and in Ashdod did some remain. So Joshua took the whole land, according to all that forever one spoke to Moses, and Joshua gave it for an inheritance to Israel, according to their divisions by their tribes. The land had rest from war. Now these are the kings of the land whom the children of Israel struck, and possessed their land beyond the Jordan toward the sunrise, from the valley of the Arnon to Mount Hermon, and all the Arabah eastward. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon, and ruled from Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, and the middle of the valley, and half Gilead, even to the river Jabbok, the border of the children of Ammon, and the Arabah to the sea of Kinneroth, eastward, and to the sea of the Arabah, even the salt sea, eastward, the way to Beth Jeshimoth, and on the south, under the slopes of Pisgah, and the border of Og, king of Bashan, of the remnant of the Rephaim, who lived at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and ruled in Mount Hermon and in Salekah, and in all Bashan, to the border of the Geshurites and the Maacathites, and half Gilead, the border of Sihon, king of Heshbon. Moses, the servant of forever one, and the children of Israel struck them. Moses, the servant of forever one, gave it for a possession to the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. Section 3. From the first book of Chronicles. The sons of Simeon were Nemuel, Jamin, Jarib, Zerah, and Shaul. Shallum his son, Mibsam his son, Mishma his son. The sons of Mishma were Hamuel his son, Zakur his son, Shimei his son. Shimei had 16 sons and 6 daughters, but his brothers didn't have many children, neither did all their family multiply like the children of Judah. They lived at Beersheba and Molada and Hazar Shual, and at Bilhah, and at Ezem, and at Tolad, and at Bethuel, and at Hormah, and at Ziklag, and at Beth Markaboth, and Hazar Susim, and at Beth Biri, and at Shara'aim. These were their cities to the reign of David. Their villages were Etam, and Ain, Rimmon, and Tochen, and Ashan, 5 cities, and all their villages that were around the same cities to Baal. These were their habitations, and they have their genealogy. Meshobab, and Jamlech, and Joshua, the son of Amaziah, and Joel, and Jehu, the son of Yoshibiah, the son of Sariah, the son of Asiel, and Elionai, and Jaakobah, and Jeshohaiah, and Asaiah, and Adiel, and Jesimiel, and Benaiah, and Ziza, the son of Shiphi, the son of Alon, the son of Jediah, the son of Shimri, the son of Shemaiah. These mentioned by name were princes in their families, and their fathers' houses increased greatly. They went to the entrance of Gedor, even to the east side of the valley, to seek pasture for their flocks. They found fat pasture and good, and the land was wide and quiet and peaceable, for those who lived there before were of Ham. These written by name came in the days of Hezekiah king of Judah, and struck their tents, and the Meonim who were found there, and destroyed them utterly to this day, and lived in their place, because there was pasture there for their flocks. Some of them, even the sons of Simeon, 500 men, went to Mount Seir, having for their captains Pelatiah and Neariah, and Rephaiah, and Uzziel, the sons of Ishi. They struck the remnant of the Amalekites who escaped, and have lived there to this day. The sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, for he was the firstborn, but because he defiled his father's couch, his birthright was given to the sons of Joseph, the son of Israel, and the genealogy is not to be reckoned after the birthright. For Judah prevailed above his brothers, and of him came the prince, but the birthright was Joseph's. The sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, were Hanoch, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. Section 4, from the book of Matthew. As Jesus passed by from there, he saw a man called Matthew sitting at the tax collection office. He said to him, "Follow me." He got up and followed him. As he sat in the house, behold, many tax collectors and sinners came and sat down with Jesus and his disciples. When the Pharisees saw it, they said to his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" When Jesus heard it, he said to them, "Those who are healthy have no need for a physician, but those who are sick do. But you go and learn what this means. I desire mercy and not sacrifice, for I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance." Then John's disciples came to him, saying, "Why do we and the Pharisees fast often, but your disciples don't fast?" Jesus said to them, "Can the friends of the bridegroom mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom will be taken away from them, and then they will fast. No one puts a piece of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, for the patch would tear away from the garment, and a worse hole is made. Neither do people put new wine into old wineskins, or else the skins would burst, and the wine be spilled, and the skins ruined. No, they put new wine into fresh wineskins, and both are preserved." While he told these things to them, behold, a ruler came and worshipped him, saying, "My daughter has just died, but come and lay your hand on her, and she will live." Jesus got up and followed him, as did his disciples. Behold, a woman who had a discharge of blood for 12 years came behind him and touched the fringe of his garment. For she said within herself, "If I just touch his garment, I will be made well." But Jesus, turning around and seeing her, said, "Daughter, cheer up. Your faith has made you well." And the woman was made well from that hour. When Jesus came into the ruler's house and saw the flute players and the crowd in noisy disorder, he said to them, "Make room, because the girl isn't dead, but sleeping." They were ridiculing him. But when the crowd was sent out, he entered in, took her by the hand, and the girl arose. The report of this went out into all that land. As Jesus passed by from there, 2 blind men followed him, calling out and saying, "Have mercy on us, Son of David!" When he had come into the house, the blind men came to him. Jesus said to them, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" They told him, "Yes, Lord." Then he touched their eyes, saying, "According to your faith be it done to you." Then their eyes were opened. Jesus strictly commanded them, saying, "See that no one knows about this." But they went out and spread abroad his fame in all that land.